Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Cooper Wilde.
They are my own compositions, and the first one I wrote thinking about the wind and the idea of a personified wind. There's loads of nice songs about wind. Bizarre, but King Crimson, and a lovely one by Passenger, and I wanted to add to this. And I thought about the wind as if it were a kind of conscious thing, and it travels around the planet, and I imagined it as one big gust that goes all the way around the planet and keeps going. And every time it gets back to you, it rushes past you in just a second, and then it keeps going, and it's got to go all the way around the planet before it gets back to you again. And every time it sees you, you'll have changed. You'll be someone different, somewhere different. And I just thought it was an interesting way to think about the process of growing and of time moving and things moving past you. So this is my song about that. Times will the same old wind hurry through my frame, over oceans of waves and trees, to push my back again. Only seconds to mark an outline until it blows on through, around the planet and back to me. By then I'm someone new. How many versions of me has it met? How many has it seen? As a child and as an adult, and every in between. Sometimes laughing and sometimes crying as everything unfolds. Another page to mark the book that marks my growing old. Times will the same old wind hurry through my frame, until I leave a final mark that's never seen again. When I reach my journey's end, I'll wait and listen in. When I know it's time to go, I'll travel with the wind. Thank you very much. The next song I'm going to do for you has one of the least inspiring origin stories of all time. I was in the shop I worked in my hometown, in the kind of big warehouse we had out back, and I had a price gun and Christmas merchandise, and one by one I went through and priced gunned every chocolate Santa, and bauble, everything. And this was something like October, so it was really inspiring. But at the time, I had been learning in history about King Henry VII, who is probably the most forgotten Tudor. And when he first came into power and ended the War of the Roses, he had to introduce some measures pretty quick in order to keep control, because it had been going to and fro for years and years. And as a result of a lot of his measures, there was rebellion, of course. And I wrote this about the rebellion in Yorkshire. I will not be attempting the accent, probably for my own safety. But this is my Yorkshire Rebellion song. The king's men stand upon our land that Henry has claimed. For through his laws and threats of wars, our nobles he has tamed. We all work to plough the dirt he claims under the crown, while with their swords our noble lords lie under Bosworth ground. So I'll not pay for your foreign wars, not out of my own hand. For hardly a penny have I made this year from working the king's land. Go round all of Yorkshire now, collecting up your dues. We couldn't pay you if we would, and would not could we choose. We break our backs to pay his tax, and still he asks for more. 'Cause all of France it does advance, and knocking on his door. But what care we for victory in land that's not our own? All we need's the earth and seed to harvest what we've grown. So I'll not pay for your foreign wars, not out of my own hands. For hardly a penny have I made this year from working the king's land. Go round all of Yorkshire now, collecting up your dues. We couldn't pay you if we would, and would not could we choose. Crops don't come nor rivers run, so who are you to moan? You've no job but tax the mob upon your stolen throne. Bring your force up to our doors and see what you can find. We'll all rise to fight your lies and show you our mind. 'Cause I'll not pay for your foreign wars, not out of my own hand. For hardly a penny have I made this year from working the king's land. Go round all of Yorkshire now, collecting up your dues. We couldn't pay you if we would, and would not could we choose. I'll not pay for your foreign wars, not out of my own hand. For hardly a penny have I made this year from working the king's land. So go round all of Yorkshire now, collecting up your dues. We couldn't pay you if we would, and would not could we choose.
John Cooper Wilde. Thank you, John.